Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the King and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Today we have some interesting information that data miners were able to find in the coding for Dead by Daylight as the PTB just came out. And believe it or not, Chapter 18 is going to be licensed as well. Now, it is very early for us to actually determine if this is true. In fact, even if it gets closer, we wouldn't know if it is 100% true. But, ladies and gentlemen, this opens up the gate for a lot of speculation and a lot of things. This is huge. This is really huge. And we're going to talk about why it is huge in a second. If you guys haven't already considered subscribing, please do. We are nearing 100,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can hit that by the end of the year. And I just want to say thank you guys for all of the love and the support. Now, you're probably wondering, how do we know that this is 100% licensed, or how do we get the idea that this is going to be licensed? And if you take a look on screen right now, what you are seeing is the coding that data miners are able to look at. And if you take a look at this coding specifically, it shows you that this is talking about the 20-second killer, and then it shows you the 20-second killer cost. And if you look at the cost, it only is in Oryx cells. And as we know, licensings can only be purchased with money or Oryx cells or Steam, whatever. And you can also see that it says Survivor 24 will also be available for price of 500 Oryx cells. Now, we also know that this is the same story that we have for Chapter 17. Both of these were only for cells with the price for 500. So, upon seeing this, when I was given this information, what I initially thought was that maybe they just didn't put the coding in yet, and maybe down the line they will, and this is just a temporary placeholder. However, they've never actually done this before. Normally, when we are looking at chapters towards the future, we actually see that you can get them for Oryx cells and for the other currency shards. So if they are in negotiations, and they have finished, according to this, their negotiations for more licensed characters, and we know that they work on multiple chapters at a time, then it's more than likely that Chapter 17 and Chapter 18 are both going to be licensed, which means for the first time ever, we're going to have back-to-back licensed characters coming on into DBD. Obviously, this one was Pyramid Head. What a way to kick off the fourth year, I must admit. So, there's a lot of speculation to be done. You know, right now, the hype is for Five Nights at Freddy's. This is something that a lot of people are talking about. I still am not completely on board with it. You know, I know some people are really passionate about this, and they really think that this could come on into the game. I don't think that it would work for Dead by Daylight specifically, but we never know. We have made a theory on why it could possibly be coming on into the game, so you never know what we can actually receive. Obviously, Candyman is also being talked about for Chapter 17. As we know, chapters come out about 3 months next to each other, and this is probably going to come out around the time of September. And if it does come out around the time of September, that is exactly when the new Candyman movie is set to air. And it would make a lot of sense. So it could potentially happen. And again, if Candyman was supposed to be coming out previously and all of those leaks, because remember how much evidence we received for Candyman. There was so much evidence and so much theories that Candyman was coming on into DBD. So much so that we started to think that it was just fake, the amount of things that just correlated together, right? And then when we didn't receive it, we say, oh, it'll probably be for next chapter. But you guys got to remember that the movie itself was postponed. So what if Candyman was supposed to come out in the last chapter, and when they realized that everything was going to get postponed with COVID, they quickly swapped gears and gave us the Silent Hill Pyramid Head DLC? That is a possibility, but just a theory in my own books on, you know, why that may have happened. That's a question that only a dev can answer, and I don't think we'll be getting that answer anytime soon. Maybe down the line if we do another interview with them way towards the future. So again, this opens the door to a lot of possibilities, and we know now that they have been looking at gaming franchises as well, and not just strictly movies or books with the Silent Hill DLC, which opens the gate to things like Resident Evil, which would probably be unlikely since they have their own game. you know, the evil within, you know, having the Keeper as one of the killers. That would be really damn cool. So there's a lot of things that they could go on and explore. And of course, there is Jason as well. Jason is still on the table. As we know, Jason's license is now up for grabs as the lawsuit is over. The lawsuit for Jason is over. So Dead by Daylight could quickly go in, swoop on in, get the licensing for Jason, and they would essentially complete their Infinity Gauntlet for licensed characters coming on into DBD. There's also the hopes for Chucky. I know a lot of people have kind of swept this one under the rug and forgot about Chucky, but Chucky could definitely work on DBD. And the reason being is just because of how iconic he is. Now, the only problem that we would have with Chucky, as we all know, is that he's a tiny doll. But as I always said, if they got the licensings for something like Chucky, they would make it work. Think about how they got Jigsaw coming on into the game, and they decided to give us Amanda as the pig, and Jigsaw is still incorporated on the game, no pun intended. So if we get something like that, you never know what they can do. Or they could just have the little doll chasing you and use magic to put you on hooks and things like that. It would be quite funny. And of course, as I said, there's FNAF hype, there is Candyman hype, there's Jason hype, Pinhead, and what was the other one? Jeepers Creepers are more than likely not to come on into DBD, just because for Pinhead, they are now getting their own lawsuit and there's stuff going on with that. And Jeepers Creepers, as we know, the creator was a different type of creeper, so to put it. So we probably won't see anything like that. And a lot of people always give insight to real life killers, and Dead by Daylight always have mentioned they don't want to glorize or praise real serial killers, so we probably won't see anything like that, anything that's a little bit too realistic. And as for the typical, you know, could be licensed, such as like Slender Man, or maybe you're thinking of like, I don't know, a zombie, a werewolf, or a mummy from specific games or something like that, we probably won't see anything like that either coming on into DBD, just because they have said previously, I don't have the clip sadly because it was such a long time ago, that they're going to try to stay away from generic things like that. So maybe we'll see those coming on it as licensed skins. But ladies and gentlemen, this opens the door, as I said, to a bunch of possibilities, and the evidence is sitting right in front of us. The theories are going to be flying off the shelves now because Chapter 17 and Chapter 18 are both going to be licensed. So crazy things are yet to come into DBD. How do you guys feel about this? Are you guys excited to have more licensed characters coming on into the game? Do you guys want more licensed characters? But I'm just excited for everything and what's to come, because especially when you know it's licensed, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but especially when you know it's licensed, it's really, really awesome, because now you can think of some of the most iconic people, both on the survivor and the killer side, that you may have grown up with. And I've always said that licensing characters are always really healthy and really good for the game, because it brings in this average audience that you typically wouldn't have normally brought in. Think about like Freddy or something like that. Think about Michael Myers, especially when the game was brand new, and you see these iconic characters that you love watching their films. You're like, whoa, they're in this game now, let me play it. And then you get a bunch of people coming on in. A prime example of this was with Stranger Things. When we got Stranger Things, the hype was at its peak. This was right when Season 3 it came out, and everybody was like, whoa, Stranger Things in Dead by Daylight, you know? And I noticed firsthand from going to Comic-Con and seeing everybody dressed up as Steve or Nancy. There was even some Demogorgons around there, and everybody would go straight to the DBD boot. So very smart from their end, getting these negotiations going and actually working on everything. So I'm quite excited to see what is going to happen. So yeah, who do you guys think that this killer can be, guys? I want to hear your best theory in the comments below, because I'm going to be reading through it. I've seen a lot of like Springtrap theories, a lot of Candyman theories, but I would love to hear everybody's theories. And maybe in the future, when we get closer to the next DLC, we'll put together a big list and talk about all of the potential characters that we could see. Last time there was some amazing theories. We had some from Lydia, Earth for Lydia. She got it completely correct and nailed it on the head with Pyramid Head. And you know, she showed me and Polly up. Polly was talking about how it could be Candyman, and for me, I was kind of all over the place. I believed in Candyman, but then like I was like, it could be Jason, though, it could be Pennywise. I was completely at a loss. This time we're gonna have a couple of times to guess for this chapter and the next chapter, so we'll have to wait and see. As I said, I've been talking on a tangent for quite a long time. I didn't expect this video to be this long. It was supposed to be like a 4-minute video. But we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy this type of content, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. As I said, we're nearing right now 80,000, and hopefully we can get to 100,000 by the end of the year. So thank you all for all the love and the support. Make sure you check out our Twitch and our Discord, Twitter, everything like that will be linked down below. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.